Before we start the session, let me introduce myself. I'm a Sanskrit teacher. People call me as a Sanskrit teacher, though I believe that I'm a Sanskrit volunteer. I'm a volunteer, okay? I have an organization called Science of Sanskrit, in which I'm teaching Sanskrit to the participants across globe. And people from so many countries are joining Sanskrit classes under me. I keep taking Sanskrit classes of multiple streams altogether. I deal with Bhagwat Geeta, I deal with Sanskrit literature, I deal with Sanskrit grammar, I deal with basic Sanskrit, conversational Sanskrit, and I also help people to decode the Sanskrit text. Okay, so this is my brief background. In addition to that, I run a foundation in the name of Samhita Foundation, which is working on 5G project, that is Guru, Gau, Gita, Gyan, and Girl Child. And very soon, this Science of Sanskrit is going to get converted into an international trust in the name of Sanskrit School of Excellence. Okay, so this is my brief background, and let's get started now. Hello, Anita Didi. Hello, Rekha Didi.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai
Jai
Gurudev.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. How many of you have seen my video on Ramayanam yesterday, which I uploaded on YouTube? Pooja Didi, did you go through it?
No, not yet.
Go through it.
Okay.
You know, when Ravana asked, when the Ma Sita was abducted by, kidnapped by Ravana, and Ravana in his kutir asked Ma Sita that what is that special you find in Ram that you don't get in me? And you are not able to leave him behind, even though I have a lot of power, wealth, prosperity, the deities fear me. So what is that special you get in Ram that you don't get in me? You know what was the reply that was given by Ma Sita? In Ramayanam, it has been stated by Maharishi Valmiki. He says that Sita Maya is replying to Ravana. She says, Yadantaram Singha Shrigali Urvane, Yadantaram Hasti Biladi Urvane, Yadantaram Chandana Vari Pankajam, Stadantaram Dasarathastavaivach. She says that, do you really want to know the difference between Ram and you? The difference that exists between the mineral water, the Ganga Jal, and the dirty water. The difference that exists between a lion and a cat, and the difference that exists between a royal elephant and, Shrigala, we call it Siara. Okay, the same difference exists between Rama, Dasarathi, and you. And that was the reply of Ma Sita. And Ravana was so angry at his reply, and then his entire body changes, the body language changes, he starts shivering, this and that. So the video which I have uploaded is upon that, Pooja Didi. Okay. Okay, we'll start the session now. So does anybody remember the shlok which we concluded in yesterday's session?
Text 32. Atmo Brahman.
So, see, Arjuna has to say something now, finally. Say all of you, Arjuna Uvacha.
Actually, we were gonna go through the meaning of text 32.
Oh,
Text 32. Yeah.
So the Lord is talking about, Samadarshita, equanimity. Okay, so say all of you, Atmaupanpamyena sarvatra.
Atmaupanmyena sarvatra
Samang pashyati yorjuna.
samam pashyati yorjuna
Sukhang va yadi va dukkhang.
Sukham vyati
yati va dukkham
Sayogi paramo mataha.
yogi paramayo mata.
There are multiple stages of a yogi. There are yogis in the making, yogis and the paramaha yogi, the param yogi, the ultimate yogis. Okay. So this hierarchy is being followed in the spiritual field based on the basic inherent attributes of a yogi. So the Lord here in the hierarchy of the yogis, the Lord is talking about Paramaha Yogi, the ultimate yogi. Okay? So yogi paramo mataha. The Lord says that in my opinion, that yogi is an ultimate yogi who dukkhang va yadi vas sukhang va yadi va dukkhang. You know, be it the instance of happiness or be it the instances of pain, suffering. Atmau pammena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjanaha. You know, the person, the param yogi is the one who is highly sensitive to the pain and sufferings and happiness of others. The way personal happiness and sufferings bothers, the same way the universal happiness and suffering must also bother. All those meditation courses that was initiated by Gurudeva, it was all a param yogi can do, because atmau pammena, he understood that the ultimate happiness can be achieved only through adhering to meditation. Okay, so what he realized for himself, the source of happiness, he distributed it to everybody. Why? Because his happiness is the universal happiness. Universal happiness is his happiness. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. The entire universe is his family. So who is an ultimate yogi? Ultimate yogi is the one who is very sensitive to the needs of other. Okay, he is able to sponsor the reasons for happiness for others, and at the same time he is able to understand the pain and suffering of the others. You know, he is not individualistic, he is not only self-centered, he atmau pammena, his consciousness is a universal consciousness. Kitna sundar hai na Anna Didi? This is actually so beautiful. You know, so who is Paramah Yogi? Who is an ultimate yogi? The ultimate yogi is the one who has experienced, whose consciousness has experienced the ultimate consciousness, you know, your universal consciousness. Why? Because he is sensitive enough. His sensitive is upgraded to the level that he is able to understand the pain and sufferings, and accordingly he is able to work upon it. That is why those who are enlightened master, they're highly sensitive to others' needs, be it human being, be it animals, or be it entire ecosystem, be it plant, be it movable or immovable properties, anything, be it tangible or intangible. Because for him, for an enlightened person, everything is a living being. Isa avasya midang sarvam yad kinch jagatyang jagat tena tyaktena bhunjidha magradaha kasya swidhanam. Understandable? So what we have to do through yogic practices is that we'll have to bring our purity to that level so that the individualistic approach could disappear and our consciousness could get merged with universal consciousness. Or we could even realize that it is already merged. Understandable, Anna Didi? You know? You feel like dancing after every shlok, isn't it, Anita Didi?
Yeah.
The celebration happens. You know, real entertainment happens. The Lord says, Atmaupamena sarvatra. Samang pashyati yorjuna.
Amam prashyati Arjuna.
Dukkhang va yadi va dukkhang.
Sukham vayu yadi dukha.
Kayogi paramo mataha.
Yayogi paramo mataha.
You know, I have seen Gurudev many a time. He has been crying, looking at others' unhappiness, sorrow. Gurudev has cried many a time. He can't bear, he can't tolerate people being in pain and suffering. Why? Paramaha Yogi, he is an ultimate upgraded, you know, yogi who is sensitive enough that his consciousness is merged with universal consciousness. That is why he takes charges, he takes responsibilities. Okay? Understandable, everybody? Is it understandable to everybody? So Atma aupamyena, by relating himself to the self, sarvatra samam pashyati, that Param Yogi is able to see the equanimity everywhere. Sukham vayadiva dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. That then Krishna says that yogi is an ultimate yogi whose sensitivity is upgraded to that level wherein he realizes that universal consciousness is his consciousness. Understandable? That is why, Ramayana says, I believe, it says that Ayam nijaha paro veti gadana laghu chetasa udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. It says that Ayam nijaha paro veti, this is mine and this is yours. This calculation, gadana, this calculation is done by those who are dull. Udar charitanam tu, those who are generous. For them, vasudha eva kutumbakam, the entire planet is a family. Isn't it, Anandidi? Okay. So now let's get started with another shlok. Understandable? Can I proceed? Pooja Didi, Sabita Didi, Rekha Didi, Anita Didi, and Anna Didi.
Yes.
Wow. Now Arjun has a query. Let's understand what is his query. Say all of you. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna vacha
Yo yang yogastvaya proktaha.
yo yan yogasya tadodayata
Yo yang yogastaya proktaha.
yoga yogaya prayotadata
Samena madhusudana.
Samyana
Etasyaham na pashyami.
Etasyami
pashyami
Chanchalatvat sthiting sthiram.
tam chanchalyavatasya sitram
Chanchalang hi manah krishna.
chanchalahi me mana krishnaha
Ramathi balavadranam.
alahati
Tasyaham nigraham manye.
tasyahi nigraha me
Vayoriva sudushkaram.
Vayuriva sudushkaram.
Here Arjuna has a very practical doubt. You know what is his doubt? He says that you may talk about yoga, Lord Krishna. I know that it leads us to self-purification. It can lead us to enlightenment. It can help us to connect to the universal consciousness. All agreements are valid. I agree. But what to do of this mind, mana, which is chanchala, which is unstable? Hello, Kushwa. Okay. What to do with that mind which is so unstable? You may talk sense, but what to do with this mind? How to handle this mind? I am telling you, friends, there are enlightened master in our microscopic minority who has given the formula to transcend the mind. Otherwise, so-called spiritual leaders failed to give the formula to transcend the mind. You know, those enlightened master, Krishna was one of them, Shankaracharya was one of them, Shiva was one of them, and I believe that our Gurudev, His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, is one of them. So how to handle this tricky mind? The remedy, the solution was given by him. His Holiness is given by him. The Lord says, the Arjuna has a very genuine doubt. The doubt which he had is that you may talk sense that yoga is good, this and that, this will happen, that will happen, abundance will follow, everything will happen. But what to do with this chanchala mind, unstable mind, how to tackle it? So say all of you, yo yang yogastvaya proktaha.
Yoyang
Yogyam
yogastaya praktaha
Samyena madhusudana.
samyena
Madhusudana
madhusudana
Etasyaham na pashyami.
etasyaham
Etasyaham
na pasyami pashyami
Chanchalatva sthiting sthiram.
chanchalam
Chanchala
vimana.
So the Lord says, Arjuna says, Yah ayam yoga tvaya proktaha. The yoga which has been told and explained by you in such a detail, Samyena Madhusudana, which can bring equanimity, I understand. Etasyaham tapashyami. To be very frank, I don't see this yoga being executed by me. Yoga mujhse na hoga. He's saying precisely like that. That this yoga mujhse na hoga. I am not able to do it. Etasya aham na pashyami. I don't see this being executed upon me. Why? He has understood his mistake. Chanchalatvat sthitam sthiram. The mind is so chanchal, so unstable, and so shaky that due to this reason, I cannot get thoroughly established into the yoga. So even if you are offering the nectar, but if I'm not able to consume that nectar, what is of use? What is that use for me then? If I'm not able to consume that nectar, amrata, etasya aham na pashyami. Your explanation and talk upon yoga is baseless for me, since due to the unstable mind, I am unable to work upon it. Okay, so in a way, the Krishna has been directed to guide him upon the remedies which could work, which could work for the Arjuna to work upon his mind. Isn't it, Anna Didi? Okay. See, if the nectar is around, but a patient is not able to consume, so he can never experience immortality. Okay. So the nectar to get well digested, our body and system has to be strong enough to consume it. Understandable, Anna Didi? That is what the Arjuna is also saying, that theoretically your talk is good, but when it comes to the practical reality, what formula do you suggest to handle this tricky mind? Okay, so the Lord Arjuna says, Yo yang yogastvaya proktaha.
Yoyang yogastvaya praktaha
Mena madhusudana.
Madhusudana
Etasyaham na pashyami.
etasyaham na pashyami
Chanchalatva sthiting sthiram.
chanchalam vatiting stritam
Chanchalah hi manah krishna.
chanchalam hi manaha krishna
Ramathi balavadradham.
ramati balavadradham.
Can you see your pronunciation, Akosua? Did you
Yes.
notice the pronunciation? It is much more upgraded than others. That is the magic of practice. Okay? Tasyaham nigraham manne.
Tasyaham nigraham manye
Ayoriva sudushkaram.
ayoriva sudushkaram.
Arjuna says, Chanchalang hi manah Krishna. Dear Krishna, Manaha chanchalah hi. For sure, the mind is very unstable. For sure, he means for sure. Mind is, the mana is chanchala. Pramathi balavad dradham. Pramathi balavad dradham. Pramathi balavad dradham means, that is the pramathi, means it is very stubborn. And balavad dradham, no matter how strongly you try to pull it back, but due to its stubborn characteristics, it is difficult to tackle. This chanchala mana, for sure, he is for sure. The Lord, Arjuna is giving opinion. Tasya aham nigraham manne. The Lord, Arjuna says that mind, in my opinion, is difficult to control, as we cannot control the vayu, the air. As the air is uncontrollable, the same way controlling the mind, nigraham, the controlling the mind, which is so stubborn, even though how hard I try, sudushkaram, this is also impossible, difficult. Understandable?
Duskaram.
So the Lord Arjuna says, chanchalang hi manah krishna.
Chanchalang hi manaha Krishna.
Pramati balavadradham.
Pramate balavadradham.
Syahang nigrahang manye.
Tasyaham nigrahang manye.
Vayoriva sudushkaram.
Vayoriva
Dushkaram.
dushkaram.
Tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. As one cannot control the air, the same way the mind cannot be controlled, because it is pramathi, it is very stubborn. And balavat dradham, how, no matter how forcefully, we try to control it, but it is difficult, as the air cannot be controlled, the same way the mind can also not be controlled. So this was the genuine query, and a very practical query that was raised by the Arjuna. Okay, let's understand what solution the Lord gives. Lord says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Asansayang Mahabaho.
Asangsayang Mahabaho.
Mano Durnigrahang Chalang.
Mano
Chalam.
Manodurnigrahang chalam.
Abhyasena tu kaunteya.
Abhyasena tukam
Astayasena
Vairagyena cha grahyate.
Vayagyena
Vairagyena
Very good. So the Sri Bhagavan Vach, Sri Bhagavan said, what did he say? Asams Mahabaho. Here Arjuna is addressed as Mahabaho. Mahabaho means dear brave man. Dear brave man is a reminder for him that you can do this. Mahabahu. So here Arjuna is addressed as Mahabahu by Krishna. He says that, dear Mahabahu, dear brave man, asansayam, no doubt about it. Manah durnigraham chalang. This mind is difficult. Durnigraham, is difficult to control due to his unstable nature. But abhyasena, through practice, by practice, vairagyena, and through dispassion, grahyate, this can be controlled. Okay, so what is the key? The key is abhyasa, practice, and dispassion, vairagya. Yes, Akoshwa.
So Arjuna Guru, by addressing Arjuna as dear brave man, the Lord is reminding him who he is. Yes. He's
Yeah,
reminding
who
him
is
this
he?
is who you are. You are
Yeah,
brave.
yeah,
Mm.
you're so brave. Yeah. What is this, Pranitha Didi? So late for the class.
I'm sorry that I was late. I had a meeting.
You too are late.
I
Anyways,
was meeting with the mayor of the city, so I had a good excuse.
okay. So, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena hi grahyate. So, these are the two tools, which are those? Practice, abhyas, and vairagya, dispassion. Okay, through which this difficult mind can be kept into track, can be kept into track, can be kept into discipline and commitment. Okay, so what is abhyasa? We already know that repetitive action is known as practice. What is vairagya? Vairagya is when we understand the actual reality, and then we are able to leave that temporary happiness. When what is vairagya? Vairagya is, vairagya has been defined by Shankaracharya and Vivek Chudamani. Very beautiful. Vairagya is when you are intelligent enough to understand what is temporary happiness and what is permanent happiness, and you are ready to sacrifice your temporary happiness for the sake of permanent happiness. That is vairagya. And vairagya are only followed by an intelligent people, viveki people. Who are intelligent? Sad asad viveki, the one who can discriminate between temporary and permanent, truth and false. They are the one who can follow dispassion, vairagyam. Okay, Anna Didi? So
Archana
these
Guru,
are the two tools through which we can control. Yes, Akoshwa?
I'm sorry, could you please talk a little bit about what is intelligence? I know many PhDs who would not be doing this. So what do you mean by intelligent people?
Intelligent are those who are able to see, that is known as vivek, sad asad viveki, the one who can discriminate between the truth and the false.
Mhm.
You know,
And that's the intellect. That's using
that's
the
the intellect
intellect.
to discriminate.
I
Yes.
see. Okay,
Sad
thank you.
asad viveki, the one who can discriminate between the truth and the false, the temporary and the permanent, and they are able to regulate their life in accordance with the directions which can lead them to perfection. That is the sign of an intelligent person. You know, like for
Not how
example, if you are adhering to spicy food, the intelligent people will discriminate that, first of all, he'll apply his mind whether having spicy food is good for his stomach or not. Tempted one, non-intelligent one will end up in having spicy food for the sake of his or her taste. But those who are intelligent, they will stop themselves and think twice before having the spicy food. That is intelligence. The one who can discriminate between good and bad, truth and false. Intellect is strong enough. And how this intellect can be strengthened? Through yogic practices. That is how the department of dhrati plays a very important role. Dhrati is a very important department through which these three major departments are being tackled. One is intelligence, another one is mind, and the third one is senses, 11 senses. So these three departments are held by dhrati alone. And Bhagavad Gita talks about two types of dhrati, the polluted one and the pure one. The polluted dhrati are those who do not adhere to sattvic talks, who do not adhere to knowledge, who do not adhere to yogic practices, those who are impure. And there are ways through which the polluted dhrati can be converted into the, refined dhrati through adhering to yogic practices,
so it's nothing to do with how much education you have, how many degrees you have. It's your ability to use the intellect that you have to discriminate. Yes.
Yeah,
Mm,
actually.
thank you.
Formal education, if we do not apply it, is actually no education.
That's true.
If we are learning Bhagavad Gita, but we are not adhering to yogic practices, learning may give 1% result, but implementation is something which matters here. So you'll have to implement the knowledge. Okay. So the Lord says, asansayang mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam.
Asansayam mahabaho mano
Mano
durnigrahanchalam.
Yeah.
Chalam.
Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grahyate.
Abhyasena
Abhyasena
tu
tu
kaunteya
kaunteya
vairagyena cha
virajena
grihayate.
Grahyate
jagrityayate
asansayatmana yogo.
asamsayat man asangsayang
Yogo
Asan
mahaboho.
yogo dushprapa iti me matiha.
Next verse.
prap
Dushprapa iti
me
me
matiha
matiha
Vashyatmana tu yatata.
pasyatmana
vashyatmana
tuyataha
tuyatata
yatata
Shakyo vaptumupayataha.
shakyo
shakyo
vaptum
vatum
upayataha.
payataha.
So asansayatmana yogo dushprapya iti me matiha. Lord Krishna says that take one thing in, you just enroll one thing, you just register one thing in your mind, Arjuna, that unless and until you uplift your consciousness from mana buddhi chitta hankar, you will never ever be able to experience that ultimate happiness, ultimate purity, ultimate consciousness, universal consciousness, Krishna tattva, Krishna tattva. So he says that kindly register this in your mind, that unless and until you have your say over your senses and mana and intellect, you will never be able to experience that ultimate truth. So by hook or by crook, you will have to have a say over your senses, and these remedies which are offered in this such scriptures will help you to uplift your consciousness. The Lord says, vashyatmana tu yatata. Yatata means through efforts, those who are able to have a say over the mind, shakyah aptum upayatah. By following the remedy slowly and gradually, they are able to achieve that target. Asansayatmana, and there is no doubt about it. Yogo dushprapya me mati here, that in the opinion of Lord Krishna, yoga is difficult to achieve. Those who are not have achieved those who are unable to transcend their mind. Okay, so asansayatmana yogo dushprapya iti me matiha. Arjuna has been instructed that kindly register this in your mind, that yoga will be difficult to achieve unless and until you, through efforts and through vairagya, vashyatmana, you are not able to have a say over your mind. Otherwise, those who are able to say over their mind, sakyah aptum upayatah, they are able to take themselves to that self by following the remedies. Which are those remedies? Remedies as suggested by the spiritual master. So there are remedies which are suggested by the spiritual master, that how to have a say over the senses, how to transcend the mind, buddhi and intellect, mana buddhi chitta hankar. And as a sadhak, we will have to abide by those rules and regulations. Otherwise, be ready to compromise, be ready to maintain the status quo, be ready to experience the demotion. One has no choice. Arjuna, that is what the Krishna is wanting Arjuna to register in his mind. Understandable, Annaditi? So we will have to take step, and we will have to ask the coaches, the spiritual coaches, that please tell me, please guide me, that this is how, where I feel stuck, how to come out of it. Even Gurudev has also said that if you do not feel progress in your sadhana, talk to your spiritual teachers, talk to your advanced course teacher, talk to me even in the satsang. I will help you to come out of that situation in which you feel stuck. Upayatah. Upaya means remedies. Understandable, Akoshua?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So the say all of you, asansayatmana yogo.
असंस्कृतात्मना योगो
So precisely, Arjun, as Krishna is trying to communicate that just by raising your hand that you are unable to transcend the mind, be ready to live a compromised life. Be ready to live the life of mortality, pain, and suffering. If at all you want to promote yourself spiritually, you will have no other option except to transcend the mind as suggested in the remedies by the spiritual coaches. Okay, that is what the Krishna is also very straightforward in telling the remedies. It is almost like that we want to experience hygiene without putting an effort to how to bring the hygiene at home into the self. That is not possible. If we want to experience the dental hygiene, we'll have to brush the teeth. If we want to experience the hygiene of the soul, we'll have to adhere to the yogi practices. So there is no other way. Understandable, Anita Didi? Yeah. So that's what it is. So the next shlok, can we adhere to the next shlok? Let's move on to the next shlok. Now Arjuna has a doubt again. Say all of you. Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
ayatiha shraddhayopeto
Ayatiha Shraddhayopeto
yoga chalita manasaha
yoga
Chalita Manasaha
aprapya yoga sansiddhing. Wow.
अप्राप्य
Yoga Sangsiddhing
Gangating Krishna gachati. Wah 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 wah. Very good.
Gating
Gating
Krishna
Krishna
Gachati.
Gachati.
Arjuna is also no less. His queries are so standard. That is how, we should experience that freedom with our Guru, that we can communicate anything that is coming in our heart. Isn't it, Apushwa?
I do.
What is the point of having a guru where we cannot open up, where we don't feel open up, where we can't open our heart? Arjuna is so close to Krishna and so, very frank with Krishna that he's able to speak up everything, whatever is coming in his mind. So this shlok shall be discussed to you in tomorrow's class. After dealing couple of shlokas, I feel so enlightened. Actually, the sattvas go so high that I'm unable to deal the upcoming shlokas. I want to be in that bliss and happiness. So okay, so what we will do is for a couple of minutes, let's do Harinam Sankirtanam and then we'll wind up the session. Okay, anybody wants to say something? किसी को कुछ कहना है?
Can you say what this shloka is? I'm so curious. I can't wait for next week.
That is why I kept Oh, Didi, that has to be explained in detail. Actually, Arjuna is asking that what if I'm not able to transcend the mind, mana buddhi chitta hankar? Kindly tell me, what if I'm unable to follow your path? I'm unable to follow the remedies as suggested by me. Will I experience demotion? What will happen to that soul who are stuck, who are neither in samsara nor in that universe? What happens to those souls who are neither in mundane because they have understood the reality, nor able to transcend themselves, uplift themselves, promote themselves to the level of ultimate yogi? So will they experience demotion? Will they experience downfall? What will happen to them? This is the query Arjuna is having. And now Krishna will give the very positive solution for this. We'll understand this. So let's do some Harinam Sankirtanam and then we'll wind up the session. Yes. लिखन वाली तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरुवर दा प्यार लिख दे हो लिखन वाली
You're such a good singer. We can't sing like that.
হরি নাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গেয়ে যাও ও বিরাম
Wait, Harinam Sankirtanam. Okay, let's play this.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hello, everybody. So we'll meet the next week now. Thank you. Jai Gurudev. Hello, Nandini Didi. I have my another class which I just started on conversational Sanskrit. I share the recording with everybody. Thank you. So, hi, Nandini Didi. You're back after such a long time.
Yes, yes. I just got back 2 days ago from India.
Wow, that's great. Nandini Didi, I would like to take your leave today because I'm really tired. I don't want to take conversational Sanskrit class, you know. So we'll meet tomorrow for core grammar, you know, Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.
Hello, Seema Didi.
Sleep well, rest well.